how much longer do you see that core of the Niners staying together? Me
Uh,
personally, I give him one more year.
One. Wow. I was looking at 3 to 4. I'm looking at Bosa's 25, Hittle's 29, Fred Warner is 26, Debo's 26, Ayuk is 23. I mean, I think this might be Debo's last year, but
Okay, so how much longer do you expect those guys to keep making it there and not bringing home the Lombardi?
that's a good
If
point.
you're looking at it that way.
So that's why I really wish the Niners would have done something, whatever it took to get Lamar in here, because that window to me, a 3 to 4 year window to me is they're contenders for 3 to 4 years, but I think they're Super Bowl favorites for 1 to 2. And that's why I'm tired of playing around at quarterback position. I'm tired of it. If Baltimore called last week and said, give us your 2024 first round pick and something else and Nick Bosa for Lamar, I pull that trigger so fast. That's fine. This team is a quarterback away from multiple parades, and they are the second best odds in National Football League right now to win the Super Bowl next year. And the Niners have no idea who their week 1 quarterback is. That's how good this roster is.
Yep.
The way I look at windows is especially for football. Well, actually any sport, period. Like Phoenix Suns, for example, with KD. Yeah. I look at that like a 4-year window. That's a brand new guy that you brought into a team that's already put together to win. So I give him 4 years to get that. But as I look at our Niners, and based on the question that I just asked you, how much longer do you think these guys would stay together, reaching it and never finishing it? I mean, me personally, like you said, Debo might leave. He's 26. I would want to go somewhere that I know for a fact can get it to me, like KC, especially 27, 28, 29. I'm getting older.
Yeah.
That's why I play the game. I want to win one. But yeah, I mean, that's why I give him one more year.
Yeah.
And I look at a new quarterback. You don't even know who's going to be a quarterback. So I'm okay with the window for the Super Bowl window to be open for about 4, maybe 5 more years. But as far as the core group.
Oh, yeah. 1 to 2 for this core group. I agree with you that. Yeah.
I just see them depleting.
And for
I just
the
see
record,
them going.
Mav is 1 year and he's ready to blow it up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's
I have
definitely
don't
Trey
worry,
Lance
man.
Guy, so
I know what that's like. I know. Yep. I understand.
It's pain, bro. Pain. I can't keep seeing that, man.
Hey. I mean, if you stick, I mean, that's what you believe, right? You're ready to be done after a year. You don't see any. I mean, Mav's at a point where he just sees us falling short every single year, and he's ready for a change.
So here's the thing. Now I'm not here to plug my show, but I just interviewed Levin Black from the Gold Standard podcast. And we were just talking about, realistically, and this is where I sympathize with Money Mav, is as a Niners fan, we've kind of been going through this quarterback cycle for 15 years, man. Yep. Like you had Alex Smith, and then when Alex Smith, it's like, oh, is it time to move on for him? Kaepernick comes in and steals his job. Great. We go to the Super Bowl. And then a little bit after that, all the politicking and all that stuff kind of happened with Kaepernick, and that just fell by the wayside. And then we've been in this never-ending circle of hell ever since. And then we thought that it was going to be over with Jimmy. Well, it's over now. We didn't get anything from it. But the one time we had a healthy freaking quarterback for a whole season, we went to the Super Bowl. And that was in 2019 with Jimmy. So I understand Money Mav, man, because it's like, again, I just said it. The team is so darn good, but we don't even know who the heck the quarterback is right now. And I
think either one of us could go play quarterback and make it.
I'm 5'8", man. I'm gonna get smashed within 30 seconds.
Dude, I promise you'll be way better than Josh Johnson, and he's an actual quarterback.
I mean, you're right. I'll catch a snap, that's for sure. I won't have a problem catching a snap. But yeah, I mean, this is a quarterback-driven league, just like in the NBA. It's a star-driven league. The NFL, man, you don't see 3rd, 4th tier quarterbacks going to Super Bowls. It doesn't work that way. You need a quarterback, and the Niners are legitimately a quarterback away from winning multiple championships. This is why I'm so frustrated. And this is why I think we are so desperate for Trey Lance to be that guy. Because if it's not, then you got to hope that Brock Purdy doesn't show that why he was a 7th round pick. You hope that he does what he did before. And if it's not that, for the love of all that is holy, I don't want to see Sam Darnold as a starting quarterback for half or a full season for my football team.
Have some faith, man. He's shown that he's got some flash, and under Kyle,
his face,
he'll be all right.
Are you talking about Sam?
Why does he look confused all the time, man?
I don't know, but I mean, listen, I'm like this here. I believe Sam Darnold could give us 1 or 2 games if need be. He's not going to go out there and beat Josh Johnson. And I believe under Kyle, he can be a better quarterback than we've seen since he's been in the league. It's just something about Kyle Shanahan with these quarterbacks. They look better than they're supposed to be.
Yep.
So
I mean, as long as those 1 or 2 games isn't the NFC Championship game, then I'm okay.
Isn't that when it usually happens?
Yeah, I can't anymore. See, I came into this show like really excited to talk, and within 30 seconds, Money Mav has literally sent me off of a cliff because now I'm just gonna start thinking about it.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry, man. I'll make sure I drop that parachute with you. I just hope it catches up to you.
Thanks. Hopefully, it's not Call of Duty where I forget the press circle and I'm just falling to my death.
Well, then that's on you. Then at that point,
yeah, that's on me at that point.
But no, seriously. I mean, I try to think rationally, irrationally. I try to think all which way of how our season could go. But at the end of the day, it's only one thing. I want that Lombardi, regardless on what kind of roller coaster I jump on this season.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be crashing home with that Lombardi.
Yeah, man, that's all I care about.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like, come on, what do? We keep talking about what do we need to do every season, right?
Yeah. I will say this, and I think this might be a bold statement. I think I've heard like one other person say what I'm about to say. If they don't at least make it to a Super Bowl this year and have a consistent play from the quarterback, I can honestly see like a scenario where next year George Kittle's no longer here, Deebo Samuel's no longer here, and maybe like a guy like an Eric Armstead is no longer here. I really can see that kind of scenario happening.
What if Deebo's the one who stays and Ayuk is the one who leaves?
No, I want Ayuk.
Even so, regardless of
I loved Ayuk in college, man. I love him.
No,
yeah.
Why do you think it's because at that point
money.
They've lost hope or money?
No, it's money. And you want to get value for them guys now before you can't. Kittle, in my opinion, I might be wrong. As an overall tight end, I still think George Kittle is the best tight end in the National Football League. He personifies what a tight end is. He does everything. The reason why he doesn't have 85, 90 catches a year is because Shanahan doesn't make that offensive call. I think he should, and I think he will this season, whether it's Purdy or it's Lance. Kittle's going to be back in that 75 to 80 catch range this season.
Why do you think Shanny never made those calls for Kittle?
I don't know, because I think because Shanahan loves the run game. And when you have a blocking tight end who's the number 1 blocking tight end in the NFL, you're going to use him the block so you can run.
What if I told you Kittle had his best years with CJ Beathard and Brock Purdy, not with Jimmy?
Well, didn't he have 2 80 catch seasons with Jimmy? In 2019, I think he had like 88 catches.
He blocked most for Jimmy.
I mean,
he didn't hit 1,000 yards with Jimmy.
I thought he did. 2018 and 19, he had over 1,000 yards.
Did he with Jimmy?
Yeah.
Wasn't Jimmy hurt for most of that year?
Was he hurt for 17? Oh, he came here in what year? 17?
17. And Nick Mullins took over because Jimmy was hurt. Or no, Jimmy took over for Mullins, right? Or something.
No, you're right. No, it was Nick Mullins in 18. So yeah. Kittle had a big year that year, and then in 19 was all Jimmy. That was 85 catches and over 1,000 yards. But since then, man, he had 71 catches in 21, and he missed 3 games this past year and had 60 catches. But actually, you're right. But you saw Purdy really relied on George Kittle, and I feel like Lance is going to have to do the same thing to really get comfortable.
I think that's because Kittle realized that Purdy didn't rely on him to block for him.
Yeah, and I love that. I want Shanahan to call those plays too. I think it's a Shanahan deal. Shanahan he's the man. He runs the offense, but I think Purdy kind of showed everyone, like, I'm going to utilize every player on this field that can catch a football. That's why he was so good with CMC. That's why I really want to see Lance with Christian McCaffrey. I really want to see 2 players like that are so dynamic and can move. I would really like to see that.
A lot of people say Lance is slow. To me, I feel like he's fast in his own right.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a guy like Lamar Jackson. Can you imagine if Lance could even give you anything like Lamar with CMC in the backfield?
It's incredible to think. And I can't stand the whole Lance isn't fast thing. Well, okay, there's a difference between straight line speed and football speed. Joe Montana used to say all the time, well, yeah, Jerry Rice ran a 4.7, which is considered basically lineman speed in 2023. Yep. But when he caught that football, he ran a 4.2 because there's a difference between football speed and straight line speed. So I feel like, man, what did Lance run? Like a 4.5, 4.6, maybe even faster than that at the combine?
Lance?
Yeah.
He didn't run one.
Oh, that's right. He was one of the guys that did not run the 40.
He said, just if you want to see how fast I am, check my speed on my pads, is what he said.
Yeah.
The thing is, you're right. If he is a quarter of what Lamar is outside the pocket, my goodness, he's already so elusive, I think, from what we see on tape and what he can do.
You know what? I'm sorry. I think a quarter is a little too much more pressure for us to put on Lance based on, he's not ready, he needs this. So I would take 15% of what Lamar can give me.
That's fine. So, I'll take that. And I think Lance has a stronger arm than Lamar. Yeah. So I like that too. But, and then to kind of go back to what you were saying, also, you asked me about Debo or Ayuk. I want Ayuk, man. Ayuk is such a stout route runner. His hands are just so good. I understand what Debo can do, but Debo is an average to below average route runner, I feel. But Debo brings you so much more. But the thing is that Debo's also going to bring you is he's going to miss games. And I don't want my number 1 or number 2 highest paid receiver to miss football games. I just don't want that.
Here's how I feel. In order to understand what I'm about to say is you must know that I am a running back. I love running backs, and I will talk the backfield all day with you. And the way I look at Lamar Jackson, he is a running back who can deliver the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I look at Debo, he's a running back with receiving abilities.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he is. Yeah. Now, I look at